Fatima's high-flying spring day. After a winter that felt 1,000 years long, the sun finally decided to wake up. The thermometer outside the window hit 60 degrees, and the snow melted into happy little puddles. Fatima sat by the window, her dark eyes sparkling as she watched the branches dance. Even though she didn't use words to speak, her bright smile told her family everything. It was time for an adventure. Figaro, the gray-brown tabby cat, let out a long stretch, knowing his humans were about to head out. Today is the day. Levent, Fatima's father, announced with a cheer. He began to gather their gear, making sure everything was ready for their trip to Whitehall Park. He leaned down to help Fatima into her favorite bright pink fleece jacket. "Ready to catch some wind, Fatima?" he asked. Fatima kicked her feet gently and let out a joyful hum. She loved the way the air felt when she was moving fast, and today was the perfect day for it. The drive was short, but the excitement was huge. As Gulsen, Fatima's mother, steered the van into the park, they saw that they weren't the only ones with a spring in their step. The park was humming with people. "Look at all the neighbors," Gulsen said, pointing out the window. "Everyone is out to soak up the sun." Fatima watched the crowds through the glass, her excitement growing as they neared the playground. Walking just behind them were Grandma Aisha and Grandpa Hassan. They carried the picnic blankets and a basket full of treats. "Whitehall Park is the best place for a day like this," Aisha remarked, adjusting her headscarf. Hassan nodded, leaning on his cane as they followed the path toward the big wooden picnic tables. They wanted to find a perfect spot where they could see all the action and cheer for Fatima. Fatima's eyes stayed fixed on one specific spot, the accessible zip line. At many parks, zip lines are just for kids who can hang on tight with their hands, but Whitehall Park was special. It had a zip line with a high-backed seat and a sturdy harness, designed so that everyone, including Fatima, could experience the thrill of flying. As they approached the tall green frame, Fatima's smile grew so wide it reached her ears. Levent carefully helped Fatima into the zipline seat. It wasn't just any seat. It was a safe, comfortable chair that held her steady. He pulled down the big blue T-shaped harness and clicked it into place. "All secure," he whispered, checking the straps. Fatima gripped the side ropes, her fingers tensing with anticipation. She knew what was coming next, and she was more than ready. With a mighty 1, 2, 3, Levent gave the seat a powerful push. Fatima soared. The zipline whistled as it glided along the track. Her dark hair blew back from her forehead, and the 60-degree breeze kissed her cheeks. She wasn't just Fatima in a wheelchair anymore. She was Fatima the flyer, Fatima the bird, Fatima the queen of the sky. She let out a pure, ringing sound of delight that echoed through the park. Over at the picnic table, Gulsen and Aisha were on their feet. "Go, Fatima, go!" Gulsen shouted, waving her arms. Aisha clapped her hands together, her face glowing with pride. They loved seeing the park come alive with inclusion. Because the park had equipment built for everyone, Fatima wasn't just watching the fun. She was the star of the fun. Every child at the playground paused to watch her fly. When the ride finally slowed down, Grandpa Hassan was there to meet her at the end of the line. He reached out and gently squeezed her hand. "You were faster than a race car, Fatima," he chuckled. Fatima's face was flushed pink from the wind and the excitement. She looked back at the zip line and then at her grandfather, her eyes telling him that she wanted to go again and again. As the sun began to dip behind the mountains, the family headed home, tired but happy. Back in the living room, Fatima sat in her chair, still feeling the phantom whistle of the wind in her ears. Figaro the cat curled up on her lap, purring as she stroked his soft fur. It had been a high-flying spring day, a day where the world felt open, accessible, and full of joy for everyone.